living in the hood every day. So, you see the normal helicopters, police cars, hear the shooting, the takeover, burning rubber, everything goes on around here on the east side.
Man, we're going to talk more about the east side too, but I want to talk about something I just saw you post on your Instagram about you posted about some dudes busting at some cops and the firefighters, and your caption was LA is back wicked again.
Yeah.
You grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. We went through that, on our last interview, but what did you mean when you said that?
Yeah, it seems like it's like it's back cracking, like, to where I don't know if it's because of the money shortage, because everybody talking about the EDD money ran out, this and that, but it just seemed like for some reason, like I think more these shootings is going on. It ain't mostly on the blacks, because a couple of the ones I saw, I think it was like an essay that shot at the police or shot at the fireman, whatever. So I've been seeing a lot of it on Instagram, so that's why I reposted on my page. But yeah, right now, for some reason, it's a lot of shooting, towards the police right now. So I don't know, what's up with that. But it seemed like majority of them dudes was on drugs, because like one I saw, it was a Mexican dude. He had a pistol, and he shot the police. He ended up getting caught. I don't know if they shot him, because I seen how they were shooting at him though. But yeah, man, it's a lot of that going on right now, and it's a lot of gang banging going on, shooting, especially like the area where I live at. It's been back to back shootings. So it's cracked right now. LA on fire right now. There's all kind of shit going on. The robberies that went up. Yeah, so it's a lot of shit going on right now.
Yeah, we've seen this before, man. Going back to the late 80s, early 90s, when it was just really cracking. We talked about that last time as well. But we didn't get to go into the aftermath of that. And one of the things that came out of that, I think 93, 94, one of those years was like the bloodiest in LA history. We had like 2,000 something homicides or whatever. It was really crazy. But after that, they dropped the 1994 crime bill. Are you familiar? I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that, right?
I'm kind of familiar with a little of it.
Okay.
Even though around like 94, I was already in the pen up
That's
there,
right.
and they sent me in Phoenix. That was the first prison I went to. So I was kind of like a little bit lost on what was going on in LA as far as like the crime bill. But if I ain't mistaken, kind of like right after I went, that's when they came with the gang injunction too.
Yeah.
So I never fell up under that because I was already in prison.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
the most thing was really talked about was the crack law thing. How they was giving all them dudes all that time for getting caught with crack cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the most talked about thing while I was in prison. So it was so many dudes coming there with so much time. Some of them were saying they wish they had a bank robbery because how much time they was giving out for the crack.
Man.
Yeah, that's crazy because like majority of dudes coming to jail for bank robbery, they was getting like 7 years. But if they had a pistol, that's when you get a little more time. But if you were just jumping over the counter, grabbing the money, you was getting like about 4 or 5 years, or it depending on your record. If you didn't have like no fucked up record, then you would get like about 3 or 4 years for a bank robbery. But you come there with an ounce of crack, it's almost like mandatory 10-year sentence. So if you had that, but if you've been to prison a few times, now it's been a double. Because I met a dude from Richmond, California, named Kevin, and his sentence was 10, but his prior gave him 20.
Damn.
Yeah, so I was like, damn, that's messed up. The dude got all that time, just for that little crack cocaine stuff.
Yeah, meanwhile, couple cities over, at the same time, you had white dudes getting caught with the same amount, but it was pure cocaine. It wasn't, crack. And for whatever reason, they get a slap on the wrist, couple months here, couple months there.
Yeah. And the ones was getting caught with all the LSD around the time in 1993 when I was at MDC, they was letting them out. They changed the law for them. So all the white boys, they was getting out back to back. And they was flooding the federal pen with all the blacks and the Mexicans, filling up with them getting caught with the crack cases. So it was almost like they showed favoritism towards the white dudes. Like, hey, we're going to let y'all out. LSD, that ain't done. So we're going to get y'all a slap on the wrist and let y'all go. So we finna punish these blacks and these Mexicans.
Man.
And that was exactly what was going on, too. Because you got to think, at that time, man, 92, 93, 94, 95, the blacks and Mexicans filled MDC up.
What's that?
The metropolitan building when you catch when you
Gotcha.
basically like you go, it ain't too far from the county jail either. It's right there on Alameda.
Okay.
Yeah. So look, before I got sentenced, that place was so packed. that they had dudes sleeping in the TV room.
Wow.
Yeah, because the cell's only 2-man cell. So they had dudes sleeping in the TV room because they was bringing in so many blacks and Mexicans up in there. But it was majority black though. That they was scooping up the SA too, but majority it was us. So they was scooping us up, and they was bringing so many people there, man. It was crazy because you could just see them every day. People coming in there by the 10s and 20s. They bringing in fresh people coming up in there.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's when I knew. I said, these people ain't playing. They finna make an example out of us, and they finna fill these jails up. And showing up, they did. So look what happened when they didn't change the crack law. All the blacks started tearing up all the prisons, and that went from I think it started back south first, and I think all the blacks started tearing up all the prisons on the East Coast, and then on the West Coast, all the blacks started tearing up all the prisons down there. So. And just think, they did all that. They still didn't change the crack law for about another 10 to 20 years.
Damn, dude. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
People don't understand that a lot of these laws, going even back to American history, way back, 100 years ago, a lot of the laws that were passed based around drugs were underlying racist. Not underlying, they were racist. I mean, they were, a lot of the early marijuana laws, in the 1920s and shit, were to get, Mexicans out of California and fast forward to the 80s, 90s, the crack thing, it was to lock, a lot of our people up. It's do some history, people out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's crazy. I wanted to ask you, had you ever talked to anybody about how everything switched now, maybe in the 70s or the early 80s, the Colombians, remember, they was having all the drugs, bringing them over here.
I'll break it down.
Yeah, and they was, when you kind of look at it, remember, the blacks was having all the dope back then. I'll just speak like the South Central, Compton, Wise, whatever. So all the blacks was having all the dope. Then, when you kind of recognize it, all of a sudden it switched to where the Colombians wasn't having the dope. Now all the Mexicans having the dope. But me bringing this up, just a comparison I'm bringing up, because I was talking to a dude from MS-13 about this, and I said, it's kind of funny how everything switched. I said, and I could tell he wasn't getting to what I was saying. I said, this is just my theory. I think they let y'all have all that dope so y'all can control what's going on in L.A. and y'all can run the blacks out their neighborhood. I said, because look what's going on right now. Ain't that many blacks living in L.A. like it used to be.
Man, I
said, look.
Yeah.
I said, look, so white people can't run us back to Africa because we already born over here. We, through the slave thing, they brung us over here. I said, but you look at it, they can run y'all back to Mexico, but they can't run us back to Africa. So one, it's too goddamn far. I said, but all of a sudden, white folks can't run us out of South Central like that. So what's the best thing they can do? They can fight fire with fire. Yeah, y'all all the dope. Promote this gang violence, black and Mexicans going against each other, and that's how y'all can get us up out of L.A. And then, when you think about it in the long run, and mind you, Dusty, I told him this in 2003. We was in San Bernardino County Jail. I told him this. I said, in a minute, they're going to make a law for y'all. They're going to try to run y'all back to Mexico. And here it is, when Trump was president, that's what he was trying to do.
Facts. You were talking to an MS-13 person, which was Trump's biggest opponents.
I know. And I know when that dude seen Trump talk about his hood on TV, I know he thought about me. I know he was like, damn, that black dude told me that.
Damn.
I know he thought about that because I told him, I said, look, white folks is trying to move closer to downtown. They trying to get that area back. And the only reason why I know about that because my mama told me that back in the early 80s.
Oh, you called that years ago, homie. That's what's happening right now.
Exactly. Yeah, my mama Ben told me that. She told me that in the early 80s. She said they want this piece of land back over here because they keep getting flooded out in them damn mountains and shit up there. I said, damn, man. I told my mom, My mama's still alive. I said, Mama, you weren't lying. I said, look what's going on right now. Everything is high. They know a lot of blacks can't afford to stay over here no more. And you see how they made everything like in IE area, made all that stuff cheap, hoping all the blacks to move out here.
What happened? The gangs followed them out there too.
Yep. So did.
Damn.
It's a cold conspiracy.
Cold game,
man,
right? It's a project. It's a project.
But I told that dude MS-13, I said, the white folks, they can't run us back to Africa. Because like I said, we wasn't born in Africa anyway. We not illegal. But I said, you gotta think about it. I said, y'all produce it so fast, that'd be impossible for them to run y'all back to Mexico. They would have to come up with something crazy ass all to send y'all back there. I said, it don't even matter because y'all come right back over anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I said the plan that they had, it ain't gonna work. I said everything they do, it's gonna fail. So they, that little plan that they tried, I said it worked for us. Like, yeah, y'all got all the shit, everything coming through Mexico. Because I didn't know until I was in the Feds. I didn't know everybody comes through Mexico. The Asians, Jamaicans. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, everybody comes through there.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to do that than come through with New York if you or Canada. That's the easiest way, and there's a whole business going on down there with multiple Middle Eastern folks. I mean, everybody, dog. Just like you said, everybody.
Yeah, I did not know that. So I was in there. I was in Terminal Island with a black dude, and he was in there for smuggling Mexicans back over here. And I asked him, I said, do you think the government is in on all this stuff? He said, hell yeah. They getting paid too. I said, wow, that's crazy. Because I'm like, if the government that strong, where they know everything, they can stop all this. I was like, why they can't stop people coming over here? He said, because they in on it. I said, it's a cold game, man.
Going back to the 80s, man, the new Snowfall season just started, and I'm bringing that up, because you grew up in South Central in those times. In your opinion, I don't know if you've seen it, but how accurate is Snowfall in your opinion?
I haven't watched a lot of it, but some of the episodes I watched, it's pretty accurate though.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. You know what I'm saying? But Hollywood always gonna flip it, make it a little more Hollywood than what it really is. But other than that, though, man, yeah, it's kind of pretty. I wish I really want to go back and start from one season and just don't stop watching it, so that way I can really pinpoint on what this took place or that did take place or whatever. But other than that, though, yeah, it's pretty accurate. They kind of did a good job on it. So I wish John Singleton was still living, so he can keep doing his thing. Especially while Freeway out here, I know Freeway would have been a major part, probably being right there with him.
That's right, Freeway Rick Ross. Yeah, man.
Yeah, they basically because they're supposed to be off his life, right?
Correct. That's what I understand. Yeah, loosely based.
Yeah. So I was like, damn, I wish John Singleton was still alive, man, because you got to think now he gone. Whoever in charge gonna flip it the way they want to flip it now. So I'm quite sure they're not gonna get in touch with Freeway and try to get some information from him because don't nobody want to pay him.
Yeah, that's the cold.
Yeah, so that's the cold part, man. But it's a lot of history though, because Freeway wasn't the only one out here balling though. You got to think I was in the Feds with Waterhead Bo. Okay. I was on the yard with him. I've been in the ride with Harry. We was in San Bernardino together. But that's like a childhood friend. Me and his sister went to school together, so I knew him before he got caught.
For anyone who doesn't know, Harrio's the one who helped start Death Row, right? If it wasn't for him,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So
who else?
It's a lot of history, and it's a lot of people that have major paper on, like Kevin Moe. He off the West Side. He was a cool dude I was in the Feds with. I was even locked up with Lil Deep Oakland.
Okay.
I was in the Feds with him. Yeah, JB, James Beasley. I was in New York with all them dudes. Black from Oakland. So yeah, it's a trip. They can put all them characters in Snowfall. Yeah, because they was all out here together in the 80s. That it'll probably blow the Snowfall up even bigger because they be like, damn, okay, I remember this, I remember that. Yeah, I remember Lil D came down here. So that's something they really should put together. Whoever producing that, yeah, they need to put them other characters in there. Cause like I said, Waterhead Bo, he was doing his thing until he ended up getting caught with that. I think that Colombian dude, if I'm mistaken.
Waterhead Bo, that name sounds very familiar.
Yeah, see, he was so low key. A lot of people didn't know him. I heard of his name, but never saw him. But I kind of really heard of his name right before he got caught. And I think he had got life in prison. But whatever happened to where I think he appealed his case. Him and the Colombian dude got it to where they ended up getting their time knocked over. They got the life off. So I know for sure Waterhead Bo, he out. But he's staying real low key. I haven't saw him since he's been out. I think he's staying in Arizona, if I'm mistaken, but he he doing the thing though. He real low key. I ain't talking about doing the thing selling drugs. I'm saying
Right.
he's staying out of prison. Yeah, yeah, he's staying out of prison. And I haven't saw Harrio since he been out, but he been out for probably about 6-7 months right now.
Damn. Did he share any death row or Suge Knight stories with you by any chance?
Only thing I asked him about, have you talked to Suge Knight, since he been in there? And he said in the beginning he didn't want to talk to him because, he was mad at him. And then I guess, Suge Knight was constantly, trying to reach out to him. And he said he went on to talk to him. And he was basically saying, like, Suge Knight admitted that, like, man, I let the money go to my head, man. Like, man, I messed up. And he said after that, he said he never talked to him again, because he said he really had no interest in talking to him, especially he didn't have his little money, what he wanted. So he said he never talked to him again after that. So during the time when I was at San Bernardino with him, I was asking, I was like, because he had just came from the States. And I'm like, damn, why they got you down here? He said, I'm trying to, get both of my cases ran together. And I didn't know they ran them both because, he had a attempted murder in the state. And he had the dope case in the Fed. So I told him, I said, damn, I didn't know they did that. He said, yeah, they ran a bowl. He said, so when I finished the state time, he said, I got to come back over here in the Feds and start a whole fresh 20 years. I said, damn, I didn't know that. Yeah, so, and I didn't know he was on the case of Waterhead Bo. He kind of like, his case is connected with his, and I didn't know that. So I said, damn, that's messed up, man. You've been down since 87. So just imagine, like, you beat that tip to murder. Now you got to go over there and deal with that. He's like, yeah. God damn, you've been down a long time, man.
Let's go back. Yeah. Let's keep it early 80s. I've talked to cats on my show several times, in their 50s, 60s, who were living back in the early to mid 80s when the crack was going on and the guns got bigger and the ammunition got more and stuff like that. And there's always been stories, and I'm curious if you heard anything or if you have any stories about supposed trains that were left, abandoned, and they were just filled with weapons and ammunition, and some are saying that the government left them there to just help us continue to annihilate each other. Did you hear anything about that growing up back in your day?
Oh yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, and from what I heard from back then, that's based on how they come up with the 3 strike law way back then. Because white folks think 20, 30 years ahead of us. So what they do? Yeah. So look, all right. Well, I grew up, even though I ended up being a Crip, but I grew up in a blood neighborhood on the borderline of 40 Power Rule and Bloodstone Village. So the Fowler's Pueblos is not that far from my house. So the Pueblos, the street Long Beach, which is the train tracks, run through the Pueblos. So I used to hear how the train will pull up, it'll stop. It had all kind of shit on there. So that means them little moped bikes, whatever. I think they call them Elites, whatever. They'd be on there. So just imagine everybody in the Pueblos grabbing them little moped bikes. They ride around on them. So once they grab them, now you got a case as a juvenile. So basically, you know what I'm saying? They building the case up on everybody. They know it's like sticking some cheese in there, knowing them rats gonna go in there and bite that cheese. Mm-hmm. So basically, like some of them containers had the little moped bikes. Some of them might have the guns in there, and they knew that the blacks were gonna go in there and get all that stuff. And that's a fact. That the rumor is, that them trains filled up with that stuff. With guns and all that, and and the blacks they was grabbing what they can get their hands on, and then like I said, years later when they come up with that 3 strike law, you got to think you already caught a case. You was a juvenile for taking off that train. Then you might have been selling dope when the crack came out. So now you got a dope case. Damn. Now here it is, your 3rd strike.
Strike 3, you're out.
Strike 3, you out. Yeah. So they set us up cold, man. Ooh. They set us up cold, but that's a fact. In the 80s, and probably all them neighborhoods, wherever that train can go through to certain people's hood, they had stuff filled up in there with some guns or whatever, and dudes was grabbing it too.
Yeah. One of my mentors broke it down for me because he lived through that time as well. And he broke it down really well, man. He said if there's any case for reparations for black people, it's for what the government did to the inner city communities by introducing crack cocaine. Yeah. Just off of that. It just ruined, it still has fathers, kids in jail, right? Prison to this day. There's people barely getting out of prison that, like you said, got locked up in 96 or whatever, 86 or, things like that. It's people are saying, yeah, man. I have to agree with that, dude. Like what they did to the inner city community is definitely just in itself, they should look way more into giving black people some money.
Exactly. Especially, remember when that came out about the CIA was helping Freeway with that dope.
Yeah.
Like, that right there alone, yeah, they should be giving reparations for everybody that fell into that era of that crack because, like you said, look what it did to the community. It tore LA up.
Yeah.
It tore LA up so bad. You got to think during the time when all the blacks were selling, all that dope, we was having money. It enhanced the gang banging up to where now we got cars. We got money to buy cars. We got money to buy guns. And, we tore our own city up, though. And, I tell a lot of people that, though, I said, that's why a lot of black people that wasn't gang bang, they had to move out of here because the way I see how gang banging is now.
No business, no black business
owners. Yeah. And the way I look at how gang banging is now, and now that I'm older and I was doing it, I said, no wonder people was moving up out of here because who the hell want to live through this shit?
Yep.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, the shooting was worse in the 80s, and the type of gang bangs it was, the blacks was way more treacherous. When I mean treacherous, I'll give you a good example. Say like the case Lil Fee caught from 60s. You had a lot of Lil Fees from the east side to the west side, from Washington, Compton. Them dudes was treacherous, man. So it was like, when you got a bunch of dudes running around like that, and yeah, LA was on fire, man. And it was unstoppable, as far as like the killing was uncontrollable. So that's why a lot of blacks got up out of LA and went to San Bernardino, Moreno Valley, Lancaster, Palmdale. They had to get up out of here, and I don't blame them though. But like I said, the blacks like my age, they be complaining like, damn man, ain't no hardly no blacks in LA no more. Yeah, because we ran them out of there.
Mm-hmm.
We ran our own people out there. The white folks didn't run them out. We ran our own people out there through all that gang banging shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. People blame the white man for gentrification when in fact we are, in my opinion, the number one cause for why we're leaving cities, dog. It just is what it is. And sometimes we have to look ourselves in the mirror.
Yeah. Don't nobody want to admit to that though.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't nobody want to admit to that. But like I say, because when I was in prison, I looked at how we was hanging on 43rd and Central. I don't even live on this block. I live way on 46. But we hang in front of these people's house every day making all this goddamn noise. And we don't even live there. We sitting on their cars and we used to wonder why the police come to their sweaters. One time the gang unit came through there, they said the reason why we keep coming over here because y'all here making all this noise and look at all this trash I got out here and y'all sitting on these people's cars. That's why we keep coming over here because they keep calling the police on y'all. I told my homeboy, man, they right, man. We don't even live over here. We did it to ourselves.
Man, it's cold. You mentioned in our last interview that you sold drugs at one point back in the day in the 80s. What type of addict was harder to deal with, a sherm head or a crackhead?
But what was a trip? See, in my era then, it'd be a crackhead because the crackhead was always stealing, or constantly come up, trying to buy like a $5 rock or just have some change in their hand. But you didn't really see that many sherm heads like all the time. But you got the difference between everybody was smoking crack, so you would see more crackheads than sherm heads. But as far as them smoking it, the sherm head was worse because you don't know if this fool crazy. This fool might grab you or something, and it's hard. The strength that sherm got him so strong. This fool probably can snap your neck or something, anything, because this fool's strong as hell. But a crackhead would be paranoid, eyes big. He trying to buy another rock, or whatever. He trying to break into somewhere to get some money to buy another rock. But the crackheads were really treacherous as far as just stealing, and the sherm head was more treacherous as far as being crazy off the sherm.
What were some of the hardest? Go ahead.
Yeah. But I think the crackhead was more the hardest to deal with though. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, probably dealing with one crackhead multiple times a day because it's not a drug where you take it and you're good for 48 hours. It's like you want it again in 20 minutes or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so I would have to say the crack is worse to deal with. And you know, they constantly lying about something. You know, they want some credit. Hey, come on, man, give me some credit, man. I got you, man. Like, man, get your ass away from me, man.
Man.
And then it turns to where, you know, it's gonna catch somebody in the hood for one of the homies. He might start smoking crack. Now he know your stash at. He gonna go steal your dope. So you know we experienced all that. You know how the '80s was, man. You going like wherever block somebody hang, you got like at least 20 or 30 dudes out there hanging, you know, slanging and banging. And out of the 30 dudes, at least 2 or 3 of them gonna be smoking crack. That's like I said, you know, they gonna find out where you stash at. They gonna steal it, and then don't have no one of them treacherous homies where he got out the pen, he still swole, and he got hands. You can't beat him up, so your only choice you got is to shoot him.
Damn.
Yeah, you know he stole your dope. So, you know, I done seen all that too, man. I'm like, damn, this shit is crazy, man. So that, to me, that's one of the worst crackhead to deal with. Somebody that used to gangbang, he still got hands, he still got his little size on him before he smoke it off. And it's like, damn, how we gonna deal with this motherfucker? It's like, man, we're gonna knock his ass down. That's the only way to get rid of him.
Damn. Crazy times, man. Crazy times. You know, let's talk about the East Side.
Yeah.
For the rest of the interview, I want to dig more into your past. You know, growing up in the East Side of South Central. Tell everybody first of all where what set you ended up joining.
I ended up claiming East Side on DEUCE GNGSTA CRlP. So that's right there on 42nd and Central. Is the known area right there is the Dunbar Hotel. That's like documented real close where the Black Panthers had to shoot out with the police at.
Oh, okay.
So Central, there's a lot of history right there on Central. You know, growing up over there, I ended up learning that was like Black Hollywood over there. Even white people was coming in that area over there.
Oh, Central in the 40s, 50s. You talking about back in where the clubs were before we were? Obviously. Yeah. Talk. Yeah, break it down.
Yeah. So I didn't know nothing about the Dunbar Hotel till my mom's moved on 46, but I was still going to Wadsworth Elementary. So we would take Central from the 40s and walk all the way down there to King Boulevard, but back then it was Santa Barbara. So one day we was coming off of school and they had the cameras and everything out there. And when we stopped, it was an older dude, was kind of like trying to school us on, telling us what this the Dunbar Hotel what was about. You know, basically, you know, like a lot of Black history is right there. And then, so I was so young, but I had to hear, you know, get home. So I listened to a little bit what they were saying, then I had to get on. And then as I got older, while I was in the pen, I started asking OG dudes from the East Side. They didn't gangbang, no, but they was in the air. And they started giving me like a little history on the Dunbar Hotel. And they were saying like how I think a Jamaican dude, somebody built that place. But it's still there though. The Dunbar Hotel still right there on 42nd Place in Central. And I think they rebuilt the whole inside of it though. But yeah, that place got a lot of history though. It's still a lot of history I don't know about that place. And I need to you know, get back on it and learn a lot of history on that place though. But yeah, it's a lot of history on that street, Central, and then right there in the 40s and 41st.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole myself, man, because I'm kind of familiar, but I definitely want to learn a little bit more. I'm actually typing it in my browser right now so I can check it out after this. But all right, man. So before you even, you know, started, you know, banging, joining the street life, doing your thing, give us the good, the bad, and the ugly about growing up on the East Side when you were a kid.
All right, so I say like more of my memories of growing up, as far as the fun time being on 46. There was a couple of dudes that stayed on my block, and they introduced me to the breakdancing era.
Oh, okay, no shit.
So I was kind of doing that.
Dance, huh?
Yeah, hell yeah. I used to break dance. I didn't know how to pop lock, you know, or lock like that. I didn't know how to do none of that. But the breakdance era, and around that time, I was kind of just started DJing too, though. Matter of fact, I was DJing before I was breakdancing. So I started DJing in 1981. My two older brothers, Daryl and Darnell, they the ones showed me how to DJ. But at first, I used to watch them in my mama's garage, and that's what turned me on to that. But I picked up a lot of stuff at an early age. So right in the midst of me DJing, I was on the swimming team at Ross Snyder Park. And around that time, being on the swimming team, I used to be on a little basketball team, of an Ascot Elementary on Vernon and Ascot, which ain't but like around the corner from my house, because it's like on 45th and Ascot. I see on 46th and Ascot. So I was involved in a lot of stuff before I was really into the game. So really, I started gang banging late. So I didn't really get into the gang banging until, like I said, I think in the first interview, I was selling crack first. And then by me hanging over there with the Crips, the Bloods thought I was a Crip. So they was, they would sweat me all the time, or they'd be popping at me because, I'm over there with the Crips. So it'd be a lot of shooting over there. But I got a lot of cousins that's Bloods. So I used to tell them, like, hey, tell the Bloods I don't gang bang. So they leave me alone. But some of the Bloods didn't want to hear that. So they figure like, no, he over there, so he going to end up being one. But back to my childhood era, yeah, I had a lot of fun on that east side playing basketball. I was on the swimming team at Ross Snyder Park. And then, the DJing, and then the breakdancing came in. So at that time, a lot of kids on the east side was breakdancing. Because even some of the Bloods I grew up with, they used to be in my garage, but they was Bloods at the time. Well, none of us gang banging. And getting close to the mid-'80s, say like 84, 85, but really 83, DJ Battlecat, I got introduced to him through this dude named Soda Pop. So I grew up DJing with DJ Battlecat.
Okay. I was just with him the other night, man, at opening of a movie premiere. Good dude, man. Hip-hop legend right there, dog.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, that's my boy, man. So I grew up with him. The other DJ dude named DJ Unique, his name used to be DJ Cameo back in the 80s, but he changed to DJ Unique. He the one did all the beats of Bone Thugs Harmony. He another East Side.
Of course,
he grew up
man.
in Five Trey Avalon.
I didn't know he was an LA dude, man. His beats are amazing, homie.
Exactly. That dude born and raised on the East Side. A lot of people don't know that. He grew up right. He from Five Trey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he just don't put it out there because he a real cool, quiet dude. He not into like bragging about this and that though. But yeah, man, that dude grew up on the East Side. Me and him got real tight. I just seen him about 2 weeks ago. I let him borrow one of my speakers, and he's still out here, trying to do his thing or whatever. I don't know if he's still making beats, but I know he's still in the loop. Like trying to cover his son's rap. So he trying to get them into the rap game or whatever though. Yeah, but I grew up with a lot of dudes. Around the time I met Battlecat in the early 80s, we used to be in my mama's garage. So my mama's garage was like a hangout. So you got break dancers, you got pop lockers in there. I'm DJing, and at the time that's when Battlecat come over. But once I got tight with Battlecat, when I got real tight with him, he introduced me to Joe Cooley.
Another legend.
Another legend. So we go with Joe Cooley out to Compton, pick him up, and bring him in the garage. And when I seen him get out, I said, "Whoa, this dude's the truth." I said, "This dude is the truth." So yeah, so we had our little clique. It was just us three, and we was in a battle. A lot of DJs, but it ended up happening. But the K-Day Mixmaster thing come out, so they was having different auditions. So I called Joe Cooley. I happened to be working at Skateland in Compton. I called Joe Cooley. I said, "Hey, come up here." I knew Joe Cooley was gonna make, because Joe Cooley was better than me when it came to scratch. So I called him up. He came up there, got down. Greg Mack said, "You ain't gotta do nothing else." He said, "I know I'm picking you." I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." So that's how they made it with K. Yeah, that's how they made it with K-Day Mixmaster. I didn't make it because this Tony Gonzalez, he sorted me out and told Greg Mack, "Don't pick me." I wasn't there to hear that, but one of my DJ partners stayed there, and he said he heard him tell him that. I was like, "Damn, that's messed up," because Greg Mack was gonna pick me to be a K-Day Mixmaster too. So I served Tony Gonzalez at the Radiotron back in the 80s.
Radiotron, and, famous from the movie Breaking, obviously.
Exactly. Yeah. So I served him way before the K-Day Mixmaster came out, and I didn't know Tony Gonzalez had a lot of juice with Greg Mack back then. But he the one told Greg Mack, "Don't pick me." So that's how I didn't get picked for the K-Day Mixmaster. But Battlecat and Joe Cooley, M-Walk, I was real tight with M-Walk too. I ain't saw him in years though, but that's my boy too though. So I got a lot of history with a lot of the older DJs. Jazzy D. He managed a lot.
Jazzy D, man. Yeah, he's been on my show. He was on my show a few years back. That's the man. Still releasing music to this day. Still killing it.
Exactly. Yeah. See, man, I got history. A lot. All them dudes I just named. All them dudes know. You bring my name, they're like, "Man, that's the homie, man."
You talked about a West Coast, a Los Angeles, more a Compton staple, something that was hot back in the day. And shout out to Craig Schweischinger, who owns Skateland USA back in the day. You worked at the one in Compton, I'm assuming?
That's I used to work for him.
Oh, okay. Shout out Craig, man. Still doing his thing to this day. I just talked to him a couple weeks ago. White dude opens this, invests in this Skateland smack dab in Piru Hood. People were like, "What are you doing? You are crazy." They thought he was nuts and all that. But take us back to the Skateland days. What do you remember about Skateland, man? And did you ever have any issues there because you were, from the other side?
Yeah. All right. They didn't know where I was from, and only way we got exposed, I say we, because some of my homies came up there, and he had on a blue bomber coat, with the white fur. So before he got to the medical tech, Pop Rules was on. It was like, "Hey, blood, you ain't coming here with that flu coat on." He was like, "What?" They was like, "You gonna take that off?" He said, "Nigga, I ain't taking off nothing." But what I was surprised, they let him stay in there the whole time till it was over with. But when it was time for us to come out and leave, man, there was so many Power Rules standing on Central, a red bomber coat on, red rags on their head. So because the driveway is long, coming from the back of the skating ring where the parking lot is, and they all up and down there. They looking through every car. So my homeboy was kind of like scrunched down a little bit where they couldn't see him, and one on spot, "There you go, blood," and it was a high speed chase.
Damn.
Dusty, they chased her from Skateland, going all the way down Central, past the Nickerson Gardens. I think they might have chased them all the way to damn near the Slough.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm surprised they didn't shoot because they had guns. But they chased him that far. I said, "God damn!" I said, "It's over. I can't go back up there." So I just left my records up there, and I waited about 2 months, and I went back and got my records out there, and I never DJed there again though. But I ain't gonna lie, that skate ring was cracking. Yeah, that I had a lot of fun at that skating ring, man. And that skating ring could have blew up though, but my opinion, I think the gangbanging life messed it up.
Yeah, that's what everybody said. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, 'cause I ain't gonna lie, them Compton Crips, they were coming up there shooting. They were shooting at that place. I was up there one night, they were shooting. I seen all the Power Rules running back in there. They was like, blood, the mother crab shooting, there's blood. I was like, damn, like it's going down. Yeah, so it was a lot of shooting going on up there, man. But yeah, the gangbang culture, it messed that place up, man. 'Cause I ain't gonna lie, I thought that place was gonna last, for a long time. You got to think that was the only skating ring, like right here, because we had Cerritos out there, Cerritos. Oh no, what's the name of that? Skate, yeah,
Skate Depot, Cerritos.
And then the other one out there, way out there in the valley, Reseda. We had to go way out there. Then the only one that was close to South Central really was Word on Wheels. But the 6 O's was running that one. Yeah, so every hood couldn't go to that skating ring. Then every hood couldn't go to. Only all the bloods can go to Skateland. Yeah, them was the only people that can go there. Really, just the Power Rules. So then you had Doodles right next to that place. So I went to Doodles too. At this time, I really.
Shout out to Alonzo, really was, man.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Alonzo. Yeah, that's the homie and shit. But I went up there trying to battle Dre, Dr. Dre. I went up there trying to battle him. And I went up there with a dude I grew up with. He didn't bang. I'm talking about the time I walked in, I seen some 30 Power Rules I went to school with named dude named Wayne Mo. They called him Snoop. He said, "Roddy, what's up, blood?" I looked, I just started laughing. He said, "Man, I ain't gonna tell nobody, nigga. I know you a crypto, nigga." I said, "No, I'm trying to battle Dr. Dre and them, man." So I get up in there, and my boy talked to him, let me get on, and the needle kept jumping. So they clowned me, "Man, get your weak ass off our shit." And I just started laughing. I got out, but at the time, I wasn't working at Skateland. And then when I started working at Skateland, Dr. Dre and them came up there. This man was with the World Class Wrecking Crew. So Dr. Dre got on, and he didn't remember me from when I was at Dudos. So my brother was like, "Rod, get his ass." And I got on the turntable and just started going off. Then I turned around, they left.
Damn.
Yeah, they left. I said, "Yeah, he ain't trying to see me."
Damn. Yeah,
but it was.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna lie, Skateland, it was a lot of fun up there. A lot of females up there. I'm talking about bad females. Cause one time, Joe Cooley came up there and he showed me all the girls he knocked down. I said, "Damn, boy, you a cold player." Joe Cooley had some bad females back in the day, homie.
Yeah, he was, by most accounts, by a lot of accounts, one of the dopest DJs just to ever do it. Ever. not just West Coast,
Yeah.
but, you know, ever in hip hop.
Hell yeah. Because you see that battle he did with Cash Money from New York?
Nah, I don't think I'm familiar, homie.
Oh, yeah, I got to see it. It's on YouTube.
Okay.
Me personally, I'm not saying that because that's my homie. You know, I'm from the West Coast, but Joe Cooley won that battle. But you already know they was out there battling New York. They not finna let nobody from the West Coast come out there and win. Joe Cooley won that battle, man. I don't care what nobody say.
Oh, I'm looking that shit up tonight. Joe Cooley versus Cash Money, you said?
Yeah, and I forgot what year it was. Damn, I can't
I'm sure
remember what year it was.
I'll find it easy.
You'll find it. Yeah, you'll find it. But I ain't gonna lie, shout out to Cash Money though. That dude hard though, and he's still DJing right now today. I think I follow him on Instagram. But Joe Cooley got him. It wasn't like no Joe Cooley ran through him. They both hard though, but at the same time, Joe Cooley beat him though. Yeah. If you had to do like how they do in boxing, I would have to score like Joe Cooley 10 and Cash Money 9. I would have to score it like that. Yeah.
Damn, I'm gonna check that out. You know, when you were a DJ coming up in the early 80s, you know, 81, I think you mentioned like 84, 85 or something is when you know, the street life kind of started taking over. I think I remember that correctly. Okay. What was it like? Take me back to 81, dog. I want to know what it was like being a DJ in 81. Like, was it 2 turntables? I mean, like, because, you know, it's 2023 and the DJ setup is completely different than what it was back then. Break it down.
Yeah. Hearing a lot of crazy records. Technique 1200, Newmark mixer. Mostly, you know, back then I'm DJing a lot of house parties because, you know, I don't have, you know, the big ass speakers to do like the sports arena. Remember my Uncle Jan Army was at the, right there on Vernon and King. That's a damn sports arena.
I talk about it all the time. I can't even think of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I didn't have them kind of speakers back then, though. But yeah, man, I did a lot of house parties. So in my area, when I'm doing all these house parties, you got to think it's all the Bloodstone villains, all the 40 Power Rules. So I grew up with all them dudes, and man, I used to rock the shit out the party. So you got to think at around that time, 81, 82, 83, I wasn't selling drugs. I was DJing. So the dudes that was selling drugs, I never forget this day. I tell the story to everybody. Dude named Bobo from Ozone, which they hood is really 40 Avalon right now. So I'm in there getting down. I'm scratching the song clear. I'm up there killing it, Dusty. So that's, you know, I hear somebody say, "Hey man, do that again." I bet you can't do that again. So I'm up there killing it. Man, then I run another song. It's time. Next year I looked up. I see a bunch of 50s, 100s, 20s laying on top of my hand. I look. That dude liked the way I DJ so much. He just threw. It had to be like about $1,000 up there. At that time, I ain't never seen that kind of money. And that dude became my bet, you know, as far as like my friend, he'd come to my mama's house, he found out where I live at, and man, make me some tape. He got so much money, he just throwing me hundreds, just throwing me money. I'm just like, damn. So that's why I never was tripping off trying to gangbang, because I'm like, I could see myself making a living DJing. But like I say, as me growing up on that east side, DJing, majority of all the parties were doing, all the Bloods there, because I'm only DJing right there on the east side. So once the Blood found out I was, you know, a Crip, it was like, how the hell you end up being a Crip? You over here with us? So, you know, that's where it was mixed up at. But like, I grew up with dudes like Swanee Fly from Villain. He used to get on the mic. Him and Bay Bear, they call him Scarecrow. They used to get on the mic and get up under the turntables and rap and had a whole party cracking.
Damn.
Oh man, yeah,
that was to see that, man. That sounds such a good vibe, dog.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, and that's another dude who I've been trying to get in touch with. Cause I want you to do an interview with him too. Swanee Fox Villain, OG Bloodstone Villain, cool dude, man. Yeah, he do a lot of good interviews too. But yeah, man, he used to get my microphone. He used to be rapping, and like I say, we was cool back then. Even when he seen I was a Crip, he stayed cool with me, and it was crazy how we ended up in the feds together. And now we back out here, you know, chilling. You know, I don't see him that much though, but lately I've been seeing him on YouTube though, because like, you know, they've been talking about his hood like on the YouTube channel though. But yeah, man, that's a real good dude. I would love you do an interview with him too though, because he got a lot of history. He got way more history than me.
Mm-hmm, okay, yeah, I'm definitely see if we'll get together offline and we'll see if we can make that happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Hell yeah. Well, shit, man. My last question for you, I always like to end it on a positive note. You know, earlier we were talking about how shit, it's crazy out there, man. We're seeing it go back to days that we hopefully don't want it to see it go back to. But 2023, man, you did 13 and a half years on a 15-year bid. You've been out for since I think '06 or something like that, if my memory serves me correct.
2006.
Okay,
yep.
yeah, kids are out of control, man. What advice, as someone who made it out but had a few bumps in the road like you did, what would you say to an active gang member or even someone who's just tiptoeing in the streets? What would you say to them in 2023 if you could give them some advice?
You know what? It's kind of hard to give them advice when they constantly looking at social media. Somebody that's tiptoeing, I think you might have to like almost take them like through a scared straight program, or I just seen programs where they'll show a young kid a dead body. Like, this is what you're doing to a dead body. You killed this man. Oh yeah, and you take him, show them how the family is grieving over this dead body. I think a lot, if you take them through the steps of that, they might think twice about doing it. But the ones that's still out here kind of in the beginning of gangbanging, it's kind of hard to grab them and stop them from doing it. And this is all they see. So, it's like I was telling you about that little youngster. I tried to grab him. It was too late. Now he in jail fighting the murder right now. And I don't know what the outcome. He's still going to trial right now. But the best thing I can talk to a youngster about is like, hey, man, you don't want that life. You might think you want it, but you don't want it. But I think more you got to, like, show them on video. Hopefully, they'll pay attention. But if they don't have no type of background, meaning like they mom and they daddy can't help them do better, it's going to be hard. Because I ain't going to lie, I was blessed. I got 2 sons, and they don't neither one of them gang bang. They ain't never been to jail, none of that. So I was blessed that my mama took my kids while I was in prison. So I didn't even have to talk to them about gang bang because they not even interested in doing that. Anybody else that's interested in doing that, only thing I can tell them, like, man, like, you really don't want to live that life, man, because it's only 2 ways of that: going to jail for life or doing a lot of time, or you're going to be dead. Living that gang bang life, because, ain't no 401k coming out of that.
Ain't no better way to end the show, man. I want to let you promote anything you got coming on. Any shout outs, man? The floor is yours, dude.
Oh, yeah, man. I just want to shout out to everybody that supported me, man. Everybody believed in me when I got out. And if you need the best DJ in LA, man, just call me up. My phone number is 323-506-3638. Like I said, you want the best DJ, come get me. I'll do old school, new school. I'll do everything. It ain't nothing I don't do, man.
Yep. And you can find him on Instagram, DJ BLVD _RODD, right?
Yep, that's it.